Welcome back to Enigma Twisted Horror. Are you a fan of horror movies like I am? Whether it being a supernatural, ghosts, vampires, zombies, or my personal favorite, the slashers. And there are countless slasher movies that have been made over the years. In this video, we're going to go over the story of one of the most famous slashers there is. His name is Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th series. So let's dive right into it. The character of Jason was created by Victor Miller, and he was born on June 13, 1946, in Crystal Lake, New Jersey, and his parents were Pamela and Elias Voorhees. First making his appearance in Friday the 13th, which was released in 1980, but not as we know him. He was a young boy who was constantly getting harassed from the other children, drowned in the lake, while two of the camp's counselors were having sex elsewhere instead of supervising him. This led to his mother, Mrs. Voorhees, wanting to take revenge and go on a massive killing spree to avenge the death of her drowning son. Elias, not being involved in his life, was never really truly explained. After Jason's drowning, the camp was closed down, but officially reopened the following year, and Pamela did everything she could to keep it closed, and that was by committing her first two murders, then by poisoning the water supply with arsenic, and setting several fires around the camp. It wasn't until the camp reopened again in 1979 that Jason would finally emerge from his hiding space after keeping himself isolated from the world for over 20 years. Once Jason finds his mother murdering people, it stands to reason that he would want to follow in her footsteps and avenge her as she was avenging him. Her voice in his head guiding him through his thoughts, pushing him to hurt all the people that had hurt them. It was Friday the 13th, Part 2, that Jason became the series' main antagonist. At first, he wore a sack with a cut-out eye-hole over his head to hide his face, until the third installment, where the iconic hockey mask came to screens. Jason was born with severe facial deformities and having suffered from hydroencephalitis, which is a neurological disorder caused from fluid deep within the brain, which led to cranial deformation and mental disabilities. Almost every movie in the series, we see a small glimpse of what he looks like as his face gets revealed several times. It is also appropriate to mention Jason is completely silent throughout the series and is scripted as an indestructible machete-wielding mass murderer. You can't kill him, but he does feel pain, just not like everyone else does. Despite the times he was shot, stabbed, and hung, had an axe to the head, and even washed away by toxic waste in the Manhattan sewers, he was a tough guy to keep down and always found a way to come back, hence being more of a monster than human. So is Jason Voorhees really evil, or just running on pure instinct due to his past? Killing anyone in the way he does is definitely considered evil, but are his actions considered malicious? And does he really understand what evil is? Or does he even know any better, once being an innocent child to being a masked murderer? There might not be anyone like Jason when it comes to creative kills. I feel each movie tried to one-up the methods in the way his victims died, with there being a total of 12 installments in the series, most being set in Camp Crystal Lake, but one was set in outer space, being called Jason X, and a big crossover with the Nightmare on Elm Street series, as everyone knows, is Freddy vs. Jason. If you're not a fan of the series, but rather just a fan of Jason Voorhees himself, you have to acknowledge that he is without a doubt one of the biggest slashers in horror movie history, certainly cemented his legacy in the Horror Hall of Fame. So what is your honest opinion of the Jason Voorhees character? Feel free to let us know in the comment section below. This was short but effective. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to show some love, and please like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.